Hello everyone, Simon here. Welcome back to Anno 1800. We are gonna work on getting help from the priests. Alright, let me put this flag away. I don't think I need the flag anymore. I wanted to make that stone as well. Great. Put that away. Okay, so the third part, the other island.
A fine scholar has recently returned from Vespuccia, where he was researching archaeology. Find him in Kidusi Riddles. He will be of great help.
Okay. Right, the Kidusi storyline. Sell to Kidusi and Anitoni trading post.
Adjust elevator flap.
So you're the one tasked with weaving our great epic together? A foreigner? Well, any ship in a storm.
I mean, didn't you travel overseas to learn? For somebody who traveled overseas to learn things, why are you so dismissive of foreigners? Excuse me?
Well-intentioned, I'm sure, but I spent years studying this exceedingly complicated subject at Arvert College. It is hardly an easy task.
Alright, good. So are you gonna do it or not?
The college was nice. It is Arvert, but the people of Vespuccia were indisposed by my chroma, if you know what I mean. So I left, and more's the loss for them.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they are racist. Select the
All
library.
good research papers start in a library, preferably a palatial library. The priests will grant you access, perhaps. I hope.
Uh-huh. Select the library.
The library is restricted to servants of the Lord. The texts here are holy scripture, guarded from unsanctioned influence.
Okay. What if you
But,
like...
as you are working on the Chronicles, you may enter if you answer this riddle. On quiet meres I lay, never sinking. Yet dipped in water, I am fit for drinking.
Find in Kidusi that which is bland when floating, but delicious when sunk. Bland when floating, but delicious when sunk. Bags of hibiscus. Vibrant and odorless despite the fragrance of hibiscus tea on the wind.
The hibiscus flower is the image of what we seek. Here in Kidusi Riddles, knowledge nourishes us, that we may bloom in the eyes of the Lord.
Okay.
The library is restricted to servants of the Lord. The texts here are holy scripture, guarded from unsanctioned influence.
No, I just found you
Learn
stupid.
to see with the inner eye, the eye of the soul. Tell me, which of the buildings on our island is largest?
Which of the buildings on our island is the largest? Which
He
of the...
that ordered this tomb built dreamt of glory everlasting. Yet the tomb lies empty, and his name forgotten. Our temple is but a frail offspring of the mighty halls of the Elamais. Tall walls and ornate ceilings, but shallow roots.
Tomb of colossal proportions, intricately graven with eagles and suns. Is it not this one?
Yes, Our library is vast, but is only the cloud-swathed summit. Look to the roots hidden beneath.
Ancient ruins?
The library is restricted to servants of the Lord.
Yeah, no, you
Long
said that
ago,
already.
our library was a beacon of learnedness in a world of darkness. But the treacherous kings of Kashta burnt it all.
Ah.
Now it is interred deep below our island. But to those who know, the high walls and pale altars live on all around us. Your understanding is starting to blossom. The time for admittance is at hand.
Ah, this is a weird quest. But okay. So, there's an old library buried here? Oh, I see. Return to the High Priestess, make a decision. You passed the first test, stranger, and discovered our symbol, the hibiscus, scentless at first, yet delicious when submerged. Tell me, what did you make of it? One should seek knowledge to bloom. Hibiscus is the path to redemption. What does that mean? Hibiscus tea is the path to redemption? You want them to sell tea? One should seek knowledge to bloom. Quite accurate, but at the root of this metaphor is our awareness of the many senses we as humans are gifted with. Hearing and observing the world leads us to wisdom. Observing, smelling and tasting the hibiscus taught us that very lesson.
We
Okay.
careen into the unknown.
You passed the test of sight and discovered the hidden roots of Kidusi and Nitoni, the ruins of the old library. Now tell me, what do you make of it? There is an ancient history of writing in Kidusi and Nitoni. Many tomes of learning were lost. Were they really? Ancient history of writing in Kidusi. More than ancient, stranger, writing has been our sole occupation, our mission for millennia. It is our duty and pride to be the wardens and witnesses of history. Ours is a millennial faith, an unchallenged tradition of the centuries. It takes devotion as students and scholars of that faith to understand the simplest tenets of the wisdom stored here. Keeping our minds and bodies free of the corruption of novelty to better hear the wisdom of the winds. Okay. Ours is a spiritual labor of heart and mind. Menial manual labor distracts from our holy mission, something the Arenya of Ketama have forgotten. They sow and craft, but in the process they forget their duty to their people's soul. We will not share in such decrepitude. Okay, but if you're the ones who retain this wisdom and you retain this understanding of people's soul, isn't that what Ketama needs? I mean, you're the one who says that they lack it. Your Lord would have us blend into his people, his united faith. This is a betrayal of all that we stand for, until he decides to build his empire around the true ancestral faith of Nbesa and encourages the Arenya to refocus on their spiritual duties. There can be no harmony between us. We can do both. The Arenya's skills are essential for the empire to thrive. I hope to make him see the truth in your words. The Arenya's skills are essential for the empire to thrive. They are. I mean, every power needs scholars, right? But it doesn't mean that you should stop sewing and carving and weaving. Because you also need clothes. And everything else, right? The Arenya's skills are essential for the empire to thrive. I believe that you are like the hibiscus. Before bathing in the waters of knowledge, there is always hope. Alright, continue.
Loyalty to Lord Ketema does you credit. But we will not join him. He is too narrow in his faith. And I will not see Kidusi's legacy forgotten.
Nobody's asking you to forget it.
You show yourself to be worthy of trust. Lift now the veil and enter our famed library.
Okay. Nobody's
Resourceful, aren't you?
asking you
Very
to
well,
forget.
let's get to it. All great nations spring from a golden age, a time of splendor and legend. The books are over there.
Yeah, usually the legends are exaggerated.
There are volumes here on every aspect of theology, history, science or poetics. If you read, please turn the pages by their corners.
Uh-huh. Read the books describing the Golden Age and the founding of Endesa. The West Wing is an inscription, Island of God. The Ogdoad of virtues, 8 senses, touch, sight, taste, smell, hearing, wisdom, emotion, instinct. If something expresses itself through each of them, then it must be divine, as nothing can access human senses better than divinity. Senses are a way
celebrate your leadership.
of feeling and understanding the divine, and as such, training each of them is a virtue. Training but one is for naught. Okay. Litany of the Blessed Dead. Leibniz year 52. Go for death by meerkats. Leibniz year 61. Adera. Death by boulder fall on the mountain path. That's a shame. Leibniz year 96. Lulu. Death by falling off the mountain path. Hey, you should fix that mountain path. Post-Leibniz year 1. Tillahun. Death by severe sword injuries. Noteworthy belongings. Old spear entrusted to the Ogdoad. Post-Leibniz year 24. Abia. Death by drowning in a keg of sweet wine. Note to self. Check the integrity of cellar letters. Possessions. Alright. The Ogdoad. A day in the life of a priest. The priests of Kidusi follow strict rules and rituals on every god-given day. Duties, morning ablutions, noon ablutions, evening ablutions, rituals. All ablutions to be performed in the holy pool. Time between ablutions can be spent in the village. Labor and crafting are prohibited. Only the followers of the true faith of Endesa may live within the community. Only ordained priests can wear traditional tattoo of Kidusi on their face and wrist. New recruits should show their naked wrist to prove their identity. So were the rules laid out after the dark rule of Surya, whose flames devoured all books on Kidusi, cursed be his name. So if you're not allowed to labor and craft, how do you get clothes? How do you get furniture? Like, how do you get anything? Don't you need other people to do that stuff for you? Like, these people specialize in knowledge and bookkeeping. Okay, so we found out the spear was with the Ogdoad. You have it, but the suspension of Ogdoad. Ogdoad. Why would they reference a book? It must be a mistake, or perhaps it is a riddle. Of course, they wouldn't just have written down the spear's hiding place.
Look around. I doubt we'll find it immediately, but any clue might lead us in the end to the spear.
Help the Angarabian figure out the location of the spear. I mean... Sight, touch, taste, smell, hearing, wisdom, emotion, instinct. Troglodyte architecture? Hold on, there's other books here. The tradition of carving homes into the very rock of the mountain seems to have originated in Sile Amidos. But the people of Endesa gave up on this architecture as soon as they settled on the Promised Land, for mountains were scarce. Following the depredations of the Sun King Surya on Kidusi, however, and the burning of the library and all it contained, and of many priests' homes, Kidusi and Nitoni resumed the practice of rock dwelling, putting their temple within the living rock of the island so that it should be indestructible. This happened right after Surya's reign under the age of the princess. What architecture? Treatise on heresy in the Golden Age. Heresy is that which the powerful would not see survive in their dominion. In the Golden Age, Syria burnt down the whole of Enbesa, his very country, in a rage of madness. He branded the Kidusi outlaws and heretics and tortured anyone who would not renounce the true faith. Many died. But the true meaning of heresy is a lie to the soul, and any physical representation of divinity can only be a lie, as divinity transcends that what the servants can see. Thus, idolatry is heresy. The foundation of Enbesa, and as they rode the waves seeking the promised land, the queen bid the gods calm the raging storm, and so the gods did comply, and the waves rose higher than mountains on either side of the ship, yet the waters before us were becalmed and clear, and ahead lay the golden plain of Enbesa. So the queen did lead her people through the sea where leviathans roam, and build a mighty city there. And in that city she raised a temple to her lost husband Selamawi, and those who had stayed with him in Siliamidos beyond the confines of the world.
I hope there'd be more, but these are all the books we have. Hardly enough for a full chapter.
Oh yeah, what gets said?
A fellow scholar of the Golden Age. There is much we could discuss.
Indeed. The fugitive, pretend you haven't seen him. You have to fight for him, pretend you haven't seen him.
Blew up the blowhole.
The crew sticks stoically to the same story, alright. More productivity in fisheries and pearl farms, tallow and gold. We're gonna remove that. Take the guy. Help the Engrabian figure out the location of the spear. The Garden of Forking Alleys, silence. When Tilderhan died, the priest wrote that his belongings, including the spear, were returned to the Ogdawad. Do you have any idea what this might be? Could it be 8 virtues as described in the book? Ah, a breakthrough. So this Ogdawad is a creed. A belief in 8 cardinal virtues that must be observed by the priests in Kidusi and Nitoni. That's certainly interesting, but it doesn't help us much. Look around some more and see what you can uncover. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Silence has least here, except for the invisible distant echo of droplets against the cliffs. When Tilderhan died, the priest wrote that his belongings, including an old spear, were entrusted to the Ogdawad. We know from a book in the library that the Ogdawad are the 8 cardinal virtues observed by Kidusi and Nitoni's priests. But I'm unsure how that helps us find the spear. What do you make of it? If virtues are the key to sanctity, then the spear must play in a highly sacred place. It's not the virtues we seek, but the book itself, the physical Ogdawad. Could the priest have intentionally meant the opposite of what they said just to further mislead? It is not the virtues we seek, but the book itself? The physical Ogdawad? That would certainly be an interesting explanation to hide the exact location inside a book. If that's the case, there must be something specific about that book. Something to set it aside from all others in the library, any consideration of what there might be. The location of the book within the library is stored in the left wing. object itself, a book made of wood. Its age, the book was written in the Silver Age. This doesn't seem right. The location of the book within the library. It's stored in the left wing. The object itself. The library is quite labyrinthine, a fitting metaphor for a quest to enlightenment. Doubtless the priest would have found the imagery appealing. I have noticed the inscriptions above each of the wings. All of them are named. I suspect these names hold the second part of the key to this enigma. Return to the library and investigate this trail. I shall ponder this further, and hopefully by the time you return I've made further sense of it all. Island of God. Island of the Dead. Island of Servants. Island of God. When Tiluhan died, the priest entrusted his belongings to something they called the Ogdo, and we found a book by this title in the library, in a wing aptly named the Island of God. If the book's position in the library is assumed to mirror the spear's position on the island, we must discover what the Island of God refers to. Therein lies the key to understanding this charade. Perhaps each wing is a representation of a specific place on the island. Of course, remember the inscriptions on the library's frontispiece. Within the library is the Hall of Kidusi. It corroborates your theory. If that is so, then the Island of God must be the holiest place on the island, the Basin of Ablutions, also located in the leftmost part of the temple, much like this wing of the library. So the library itself is a map. Ha! How simple, how elegant. An impressive deduction, my friend. Then if the book is in the leftmost wing, we must look into a place in the leftmost part of the temple, a place where the Ogdoad, the 8 virtues, could be represented, possibly in the abstract.
With those clues, we should be able to determine where the spear was hidden.
In the pool. Find where the spear is hidden. It should be close to the temple in a place that could be related to the number 8. Temple columns.
A story in the making.
These columns feel like they're holding silent vigil, watching you before you enter the holy temple of Kidusi. Did we find it?
I have scouted the place, and I believe I have a plan. Meet me when you are ready.
Oh, come on, you're gonna sneak in there? Make a decision. The road less traveled. The spear is near the entrance to the temple, which is under heavy guard. If take the road, I am certain to encounter priests, and they will doubtless be wary of my presence and identity. There is also a hidden mountain path that would get me quite close to the temple, but it seems rather perilous. Take the road. The mountain path seems best. Huh. Alright, I'm gonna sneak in apparently.
Treacherous pass.
Shouldn't we just
Loose
ask?
rocks? I will need some sort of map to progress.
Take a picture of the pier at the entrance of the mountain path, or take a picture of the tunnel entrance into the mountain. Beware, the Book of the Blessed Dead seems to hint at potential dangers. The mountain path's pier, or the tunnel entrance? What tunnel entrance? Oh, this one? Book of the Blessed Dead seems to hint at potential dangers. Alright, let's say we take a picture of the pier, right? Wait
Into
for
the mountains then. Wait till you hear from me.
Okay. Right, discuss the Golden Age while we wait for him. Kidusi and Itoni, things that should not have been forgotten. The Golden Age ended in the cruelty and bloodshed of Syria. That much is well known, but its foundations are unclear. Few sources have survived the ravages of time, even in this place of learning. There are barely even any mention of the early years of Embasa outside of the book you found. What did you glean from it? Embasa's first day could be the day Queen Shaba landed on the shores. Legends and fables of Queen Shaba's journey from Siliamidos. Myth or history? Did the scribe who carved those careful lines know of the sources lost to us today? Or were they lending too much credence to popular belief and legend? We shall never know. Such is the peril of learning. Our conclusions are transient themselves, as are whatever choices we make. We must lend caution to our thoughts. Right. Accounts are precious but fallible. Only evidence, traces from the very time you wish to study, might yield information on the fabled Golden Age and the cradling times of Embasa, but where would you look for such traces? The Empress City was built on the ruins of Embasa's first capital, perhaps in the ruins of the old library on this very island. There are ancient structures on Wahadesha, perhaps there. Does it matter which one? Empress City is built on the ruins of Embasa's first capital. The temple of Selamawi is ancient, certainly, but most of the other ruins under Taburime are young.
Untold
Wrought in
perils await us.
recent centuries, history is not kind to the capital. Thrice it was razed and thrice built anew, so that much of its older bones are long forgotten, okay? Nowhere other than Kidusi and Itoni will you find land untouched by greedy or violent hands for countless centuries. If evidence of serious time is to be found, it will be in this ground on which we stand, where the Mad King's Inquisitors burned the old library 2 millennia ago. I mean, if you say so. If you say so, I mean, why wouldn't it be anywhere else? That seems like an assumption to me.
History becomes legend, legend myth, and even myth is half forgotten. But why not dig up the old library? There must be traces to be found.
Oh yeah?
Quite
You
right.
keep-
Archaeology is the queen of all disciplines. Go, dig, dust, douse. The evidence should be enough to complete this first fragmentary chapter.
You want me to go dig up your old
You are
ruins?
accustomed to such undertakings. Gather a crew and supplies, and we will support you.
Right.
Beware the sweet words of the priests of Kidusi. They are cannier than they seem, and would see their faith vindicated rather than bow.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I don't think what they believe is actually what happened either. Diplomacy. Recruit a group of workers on another island, sail to any lighthouse in Embasa. Who do we trust? Any lighthouse?
Get this thing moving.
The Wahadesha guys seem kinda reliable. Not sure about any of
What
the
brings
other
you?
guys.
Resources are thin. Any help you could send would be appreciated.
Uh-huh.
We cannot accommodate so many. We shall need temporary quarters for these workers.
Uh-huh. Okay then. So they want wood and bricks. 47... Oh, he wants 10 tons of any and basin food. Alright, we're gonna get 1, 2, 3, 7, and then 10 tons of mud bricks. That goes to the island. Any and basin food. Any and basin food? How about milk?
Engaging engines. have a
Is
flight
that all? An oath given is an oath due. Our workers have boarded your ship. May your search prove fruitful.
Alright. Transport the workers to the
Now
excavation
for the
site.
final note. A small contribution to the Lord's plans.
Right.
Orders received.
So we're gonna move the workers there.
Back already? The excavators appear ill-fed. That will have to do for the task at hand.
Uh-huh.
At last, the excavation can commence. Lord, look favorably upon us.
Alright, we have to wait 15 minutes for the excavation. So we're just gonna sit here for a while, right? How's the soccer game going? Ooh, more soccer games.
Let's not delay the opening ceremony.
Alright, more soccer games. Yeah. Should I or should I not be expanding the island?
It is good to know peace at last.
Because, you know, at 300 they want seafood stew, at 600 they want illuminated script. We're probably gonna have to build up to this stuff. We have plenty of surplus there, ceramics. $1,000 is a lot though. Right, we currently have 200. We need like 800 more.
This place is a god.
And we clearly don't have 800 of these guys to turn into the other guys. So we just need to expand. Like, hugely expand. Milk, binary, and hibiscus tea.
We found a man in the mountains, wounded, who sent us to you for aid. Perhaps you would care to explain?
Oh.
That could have gone better. Master your wits. The High Priestess is a shrewd old woman.
This frigging guy had an accident on the mountain. Hi.
The spear is here. My predecessors made no mention of this great secret. Apt precautions, seeing your shameless attempt to break in. I will let you have this spear, for Angereb is its shrine of old. But I will not have Kidusi lose such a treasure rewardlessly.
Alright. Deliver an embassing artifact of epic or legendary value to Kidusi. So we have to swap. Epic or legendary? I mean, that's legendary. I don't want to give it that. Let's find a duplicate, shall we?
oyster opens. Engaging engines.
Let's find a duplicate. Excavation started. Select the melancholy worker to see how you can assist him.
You
Anyway,
said
this
we
is
could
done.
come to you, right?
Wow, crazy. Dinosaur bones. That's crazy. Okay, more expedition. More expeditions. Pirate hunts?
Ship shape.
Nice. So I'm just gonna go straight back in, right? Hey, where's Rum? Unless, okay, no faith. No faith. Oh, yes, faith. We need faith. Change my mind. Yes, faith. hunting diplomacy, right? No hunting, no diplomacy. No diplomacy, no medicine. We got a decent amount of faith. Naval power, force. We want force. The lion is 30 force. This guy is 25. This guy is 15. So like 60? Which naval power do we have? And then we get like naval power and force? That'll do. Alright. Epic or legendary and base an artifact? Yes, but I don't have one yet. Oh wait, no, it's a town hall item. That's a trade union item. I mean, another fact is one of these things, right? A giraffe. I'm not even sure if we're gonna find anything here. Trade union.
How we've longed to get back to the blue.
This is gonna take a long time. This is gonna take a long time. Alright, before I do that, this guy wants help.
It is lonely work, excavation. And I miss my home. But a picture of the Kesa of Wahadesha would help greatly.
Picture of the kiss, That's
Thank
it?
you kindly.
Okay, well that was easy. Back to this. Is this a thing? I'm not sure if that's a thing, because it doesn't... Is it an invasive artifact?
Have a flight path.
Or is it not an invasive artifact? Gods of the Delta. Statue of Anubis.
Ah, excellent.
Oh, nice.
At
Yeah,
last,
take it.
the spear returns to Angareb. Let us be on our way then.
Okay. The Spear of the Elamites. The legendary Spear of the Elamites is not just a relic of Embase's long-lost founding dynasty. It is a symbol, one that could be used by Angareb to rise up behind a new ruler, claiming the legitimacy granted by the spear. A self-proclaimed true king of Embasa by the grace of the Lord is a dangerous artifact to leave unattended, and one the Emperor must be notified of, but beware, whoever you choose to give it to, their opponents may never forgive you for the deceit. Well, that's interesting. Deliver the spear to Ketama, or deliver the spear to Angareb. Beware the princess may not forgive you for siding with Ketama. But if we give the spear to these guys,
Just elevator flap.
Well, it's a symbol. It's just a symbol. Because these guys are still poor, right? The island is still poor. No matter what symbols they have, if they don't have power, like if they don't have money and power, it's not gonna do them any good. I wonder if Kidam is gonna be mad. He's probably gonna be mad.
Spear. You found it? You have it?
Oh yes, I do.
To think such a day would come. You have worked wonders. Come, tell us all about it.
Tell you all about it. So tell me, was the spear truly on Kidusi? Had Tomasi's guard truly retired there? We found the guard's tomb. So he perished from the injuries he sustained while fleeing the site of his betrayal. A pitiful end, but one becoming of a thief. And what of the spear? Did he hide it somewhere before his demise? The priest hid it after his death. Metaphors and cryptic hints, will it never end? Maybe the details of the priest's twisted little games. Where is the spear? Oh, where is the spear? They buried it in front of the temple. They left it in They buried it in front of the temple. You have shown your trustworthiness, friend of Angareb, and I believe I understand why you chose not to bring the spear of Selamawi to King Katima when you had the opportunity. A wise choice indeed. Angareb is fortunate indeed that you chose to befriend us, as is the whole of Embasa. Okay. This tomb and the guards within it, they intrigue me. Did you discover any more information? There was an inscription on the tomb. Curiouser and curiouser, the priests usually take note of a dying person's last words. A memory preserved as a pristine token of the departed. Can you remember what it was for this unfortunate soul? The last son of Selamawi followed the rising sun. The last son of Selamawi followed the setting sun. No, let me just go back. Excuse me. I'm not gonna let you test me like this. The rising sun. Okay. The last son of Selamawi followed the rising sun. It was said that the Mekdam's entire family, the last of the line of Selamawi, perished in that murderous night long ago. But the bodies of his wife and of his younger son were never found. Rumor still holds they escaped somehow, to a secret somewhere. I had never believed those rumors, but this guard's final words have fueled a fire I thought long dead. What if he truly did know of a surviving heir, and make sure clues to finding them remained after his death? There is but one last matter that must be attended to, while we prepare the celebrations at which we would pledge our allegiance to the Emperor. We ask that you investigate this presumed lost heir of the Elamai, hiding somewhere in Embasa. Alright, agree to investigate.
Look to the registries and harbor manifests. A lone ship with a fleeing mariner should have been recorded somewhere.
Oh yeah? Find where the last Elamai fled to. Visit the harbors on Embasa to retrieve harbor registries. I mean,
We have a flight path.
Ours may be a small nation, but there is...
the harbors of Embasa. Oh, I've been going for a while. Maybe I should take a break. No? The nomads don't count?
Prepare for the most eagerly awaited match of the year.
Only a minute at a time. What does that mean? Visit the harbors on Embasa to retrieve harbor. Alright, let me get the soccer game going.
The magic of this moment. Victory.
Great.
People celebrate your leadership.
I will take a break here. When we come back, we try to find the lost heir. Oh, we want to go there. Okay, found it. See you next time.